What's up, everybody? This is Jude from Section 122, ArgosEndzone.com. Time for Week 6 action as the Argos travel down the QEW to take on the Hamilton Ticats. As always, you can click the See More button here below me to click to this chapter you want to see. As we get rolling here, let's take a look back at what happened last week. BC Place is notorious for not being kind to the Toronto Argos on a visiting road trip, and that trend continued through the first quarter as the Argos quickly went down 21-0 to the BC Lions. Amazing second half adjustments by the coaching staff implemented by the players in the field resulted in the Argos coming from behind to take the game in BC. Shocking a ton of Lions fans. A lot of them are pointing to a decision in the third quarter by BC coach Telford, deciding for the offense to go for it on third and short. I think it was like a 3rd and 4 when there was a debate whether he needed to do it or not. Argos defense held, immediately turned that into points. A lot of people were calling that the TSN turning point. If TSN still do that, why don't they bring back TSN turning point? Just quick little banner up, TSN turning point, that would change the game. Bring it back, boys. Bring it back. Anyways, what you saw was a great second-half performance on both sides of the ball as they were able to contain the Lions. Because Andrew Harris ran roughshod in that first quarter. I think he accounted for all 3 of those touchdowns. Lule had plenty of time, and then the defense just clamped right up. Great pressure, containing the running game, no opportunities downfield, and the offense moved the ball. Trevor Harris, the quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, is having a fantastic start of this season, which obviously we hope to continue. We're in a great situation as Argos fans as we've got the best of both worlds. Harris is playing exceptionally well, and we know we've got future Hall of Famer Ricky Ray anticipating to be back around Labor Day. So this is a great problem for head coach Scott Milanovich to have. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, though. Right now, let's focus on the arch-rival Hamilton Ticats. Toronto-Hamilton. You know these teams hate each other. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. When you're watching Hamilton, of course, on offense, it all starts with former Argonaut Zach Collaros. That guy makes a ton of things happen. He extends plays with the legs, always looking downfield, trying to hit the open man. The challenge is trying to contain him or to force him to make a mistake. He's not afraid to throw the ball up there, so if you can disguise the coverage, there's opportunities for turnovers. The returning C.J. Gable in the backfield gives them another weapon to utilize. I think he had almost like 170 yards of total offense last week in his 2015 debut. Very, very strong in the running game. The rumors are that Luke Tasker might be making his 2015 debut, coming off the disabled list to join the Ticats this week, which is one more weapon for Collaros. So the Argos have got to be aware of all of this when they're on defense. Again, you've got to contain. You make Collaros run. If you give him time, he will pick you apart. He can create on the run, but he's more likely to make a mistake if you can put pressure on him. And of course, contain Gable and hit Tasker. He hasn't been hit yet this year in a legit game, so it could take a while for him to get the rhythm back. So don't let him get the rhythm back, right? Just keep pounding him. When the Argos on offense, Samari Lawrence, of course, is a beast. He's got to be accounted for on every single snap, making sure he's not disrupting the backfield as he can do. I can't stand Sears, which is great that he's in Hamilton. It makes it that much easier to dislike the guy. But you've got to respect his physical ability and his influence on the game. I'm not sure if he's healthy or not. I believe he missed last week. So if he's not dressed, that's great. I'm totally okay with that. So they've got to be able to keep an eye on Lawrence. And their Orlando Steinhauer's defense. There's another great article. I don't even know why I say great article now, because you know it's Don Landry. It's going to be a great article. Talking with Jeff Keeping, calling him the second quarterback on the field, as he's doing, as the center, will make all the pre-snap reads on any blitz packages and pickups and assignments for his offensive line. Defensive coordinator for the Ticats, Orlando Steinhauer, is notorious for loving the blitz and bringing a lot of pressure. So the key, of course, is to keep Trevor Harris upright to allow him to move the ball down the field. If you're going to talk about the Ticats, you talk about Brandon Banks. He is incredibly dangerous on the return game. You've got to account for him. You've got to contain him, because if he finds a hole, he's gone. So I've no doubt in my mind the Argos have watched repeated film on this, and they'll be aware of it. What you're going to see on the Argos side, of course, is there's a lot of balance on offense, and all those young receivers are doing a fantastic job of coming into this role and taking the opportunities that are presented for him. Gurley and Hazelton are the ones that are jumping out at me in big ways as they're making big catches and chewing up tons of yardage, which of course allows Brandon Whitaker to contribute in the running game, who's also a great pass protector. Jeff Keeping mentions it in the Don Landry article, how great it is to have Brandon Whitaker in that backfield, picking up that blitz and keeping his quarterback upright. So it's Hamilton, right? So it's going to be a ton of fun. Another thing to keep in mind is the Ticats are undefeated at Tim Hortons Field that they moved into last year. So it would be great for the Argos to ruin that record in the home opener for the Ticats. Man, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. When it comes to a big rivalry game, you look for leadership. You look for experience. The guys that have been there before, that's going to set the standard for you and let the rookies know how to react to the situation. On offense, I'm looking at Chad Owens. Chad has been through this a ton of times now, and if you pay attention to what's happened in the past, he's good for at least one big play against Hamilton each time they face each other. It's usually a ridiculous one-handed catch or an amazing return for a touchdown. Keep an eye on number 2, the Flying Hawaiian, Chad Owens, to make his impact this week. Defense, same story. I'm looking at Ricky Foley to set the standard on defense. Foley has not made a huge impact to date, and that's credit to the offenses that they're facing as he's trying to fight through double teams and make his way through. He's a big game guy. This is a big game. It's a rivalry game. Watch for number 95 on defense, Ricky Foley, to make his presence felt early and often in the Ticats' offensive backfield this week. For a score prediction, you're talking about two teams that have put up some pretty good numbers this season. So we could be in for quite an offensive outburst, which is incredibly entertaining for us to be watching as fans. So let's say that, of course, we're expecting the double blue to come out on top here. But what do we say? Let's say this one's going to be a 42-39 showdown. Just an air show with both quarterbacks lighting it up and entertaining all of us here at home. So let's look for 42-39 this week, eh? What do you say? That'll wrap things up here for week 6. Hope you had some fun. Keep an eye on all of our social media feeds. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Check us out. We're posting stuff, well, at least once a week, right? We're going to make sure we keep you up to date at least once a week on the next game that's going to be coming up. And then make sure that you're available Saturday, August 8th, which is the Argos home opener as they host the Saskatchewan Roughriders. You know the Riderville always travels well, especially into Toronto. It's a Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a glorious game. Make sure you get down to the Dome and check out the Argos. They've put on some really entertaining football this season. No excuse for you not to be there. And when you are there, make sure you pick up your Toronto Argos calendar because this year's is still going. Yeah, I mean, August is Raylin, which is awesome, but the calendars keep turning, so you've got to get your new calendar. Find your favorite cheerleader, get an autograph on your brand new calendar. Between then and now, though, of course, it's the long weekend, so you get home from the cottage, you get yourself in front of the TV for your 7 o'clock kickoff there on TSN as the Argos face the Ticats for the first time this season. You know these guys love to play. They love to hate each other, and we love to watch it. So, enjoy, and until next week, this is Drew from Section 122, ArgosEndzone.com, reminding you that we ride the rail, and we ride it hard.